What's up, everybody? I'm Logan Moody. This is the Contrarian YouTube channel where I talk about all things investing, finance related, and sort of different topics that you would normally not hear out there. Today I'll be talking about George Soros, why George Soros is long a lot of growth, tech-heavy stocks, especially Rivian. Surprisingly, Soros has recently been adding a lot to Rivian, both in terms of shares and call options. So surprisingly, Soros is very optimistic, at least in the short term, on Rivian. So I'll mainly be diving into this, why he could potentially be seeing a lot of value in Rivian right now. So all of this being said, George Soros, he's somewhat of an investing legend. He's right up there with Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. He's very old at this point. He's had a long career. Overall, he's been very successful, but it's hard to nail down his investing strategy because unlike a Warren Buffett, he isn't just a fundamental driven investor who only looks at the fundamentals. George Soros, he goes about it in a little bit of a different way. He likes to go long things that he believes will eventually become a bubble. So he likes to go long things that he believes the crowd will eventually get on board with in terms of bidding up the price to what would be, an overvalued price. But he really likes going long things, bubbles, bubble-related assets that he believes will become a bubble or are already a bubble, but just going to become bigger bubbles. So this does play in a lot with a lot of what he's bought recently in the crypto space, likely what he's doing right now with Rivian. But let's just dive into Soros's portfolio as a whole. So Soros Fund Management has about $6.5 billion dollars in assets under management. So this is quite a large portfolio, but just looking at his top holdings out there, Rivian in the shares, he has 15.2% of his portfolio in Rivian shares alone. Rivian is a very recent IPO, just went public last year. They're down significantly from their IPO price. Market cap on Rivian right now is about $28 billion. Just to give you a picture of what Rivian is like. Looking at the rest of his portfolio, going down to number 2, he has puts on the NASDAQ at 5.5%. So apparently Soros in the short term is not optimistic on the stock market. And this has played out well for him in the first 2 quarters of 2022, going short the NASDAQ, and as you'll see the S&P 500 later down, that has played out well for him. Also the Liberty Broadband at 5.5%, and now Rivian call options again at 4.6%. So again, in the first quarter, he bought more call options. He doubled down on his position in Rivian. Amazon at 3.5%, DR Horton at 3.4%. Now we get into his debt position in Snapchat, and then his puts on the S&P 500. So it could keep going down. Basically, he's done a lot of buying recently. In the last quarter, second quarter 2022, he's bought heavily. He's added mainly in the tech and growth stock related area, some debt as well. Basically, Soros likes going long things that he believes will become a bubble. He's famously said that when he sees a bubble, he buys it. Unlike a lot of other value investors, he doesn't go short bubbles. This can really hurt you in the short term, especially when there's really irrational markets like what we have right now, where things can basically stay much more irrational longer than you would normally think. So in an environment like today, Soros' strategy likely will outperform something like a Warren Buffett in the long term. Just need to wait and see. But so in the short term, George Soros is actually short on the NASDAQ and some of the stocks that he actually owns. But in the longer term, he is obviously optimistic on them because he has added them heavily to his portfolio, especially with regards to Rivian. So what could George Soros be seeing in Rivian that eventually, bids up the price of Rivian dramatically, that could make Rivian into the next kind of Tesla-like bubble out there? Well, first of all, comparing market caps, Rivian is somewhere of 40th of what Tesla is valued at. So it's nowhere near to what Tesla's 800 billion value market cap is right now. Rivian has not taken advantage yet of all of the federal tax credits out there. Tesla has run out of these at this point. Rivian is just beginning to produce their truck and their SUV. Another thing is Rivian is very new. There's a lot of hype out there around their trucks. I've just started seeing their trucks out there for the first time, and whenever I talk with people about them, they're always super excited about them. They want to learn more. People really like the look of the SUV and the truck, so there's definitely the hype aspect there for Rivian. Also, the government spending behind EVs as a whole is not going anywhere anytime soon, with regards to state tax credits, federal tax credits even being expanded, not to mention any sort of external additional government spending in the whole EV and green energy space not going anywhere with the current administration. That's likely another thing George Soros is looking at. And then also something peripherally related is that the media doesn't like Elon Musk anymore. Ever since Elon tried to buy Twitter and sort of went against the grain with the conventional media, they do not like Elon anymore. So this could be another thing that Soros is looking at in terms of, Elon Musk isn't as liked as much right now. This could play into the hands of an EV competitor. Suddenly the media starts talking about Rivian or other ones as opposed to Tesla as much. These are just my thoughts on why George Soros is long Rivian stock, why he's bought so heavily into this recent IPO of an EV manufacturer. It's very new to the market, down significantly from its all-time highs, but playing into George Soros' investing strategy, this could be going along something that he believes will become a bubble eventually. So all of this being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about why George Soros is so optimistic on Rivian, why he's optimistic generally on tech stocks. Just leave your comments down in the section below. If you liked this video, just consider giving it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why down in the comment section below. I hope to see you guys all again at some point.